Okay, good morning, those of you on the West Coast, and good afternoon for those of you on the East Coast. And thank you for joining the ABBYY FineReader PDF 15 webinar titled FineReader PDF as a Powerful Adobe Acrobat Alternative. Your website moderator will be Natalia Ursinyova, Product Marketing Manager at ABBYY. Your speakers for today will be myself, Fiston Balumbu, Sales Manager, North America. And later, you will hear from Matthias Mallinge, Pre-Sales Consultant with ABBYY Global. The purpose of this webinar is to provide you with a brief overview of the key features of ABBYY FineReader PDF 15 while highlighting the benefits of switching to FineReader as your Adobe Acrobat replacement. Later in the webinar, we'll hear from Matthias as he performs a demonstration of the key FineReader features. Last, we will hold a Q&A session, so please write your questions into the questions box located at the right-hand corner icon. And we'll go over as many questions as we can get to prior to the end of the webinar. So let's start with a quick company introduction for those who may not know much about ABBYY. ABBYY is a global company with 16 offices around the world and more than 1,200 employees. We have over 50 million software users worldwide. As a leader in intelligent document processing, we own over 400 patents and patent applications. We work and partner with major corporations such as Pepsi, PwC, UiPath, and Sprint. The ABBYY FineReader solution has been around for well over 25 years. Let's look at a quick timeline here. In 1993, ABBYY FineReader 1.0 was released. It began as an OCR tool intelligent enough to read fonts of any shape, size, and style. In 2004, the company launched ABBYY PDF Transformer. This solution was solely dedicated to working with PDF documents, allowing users to perform tasks such as editing and protecting PDF files. Over the years, as the solution continued to advance, ABBYY released additional FineReader and PDF Transformer versions. Then in 2017, ABBYY FineReader 14 was released as a universal solution combining both the powerful OCR engine with the advanced OCR tools. Which brings us to the present day and ABBYY FineReader PDF 15. This release expanded on the capabilities of the solution by adding or enhancing features such as editing PDF page layouts, editing text found within individual table cells, and the ability to both create and edit interactive PDF forms. ABBYY FineReader PDF 15 is available in two editions, the Standard and Corporate Edition. While both editions will include PDF tools and the ability to digitize documents, the Corporate Edition will include two additional features. The first being the hot folder feature, which is used to automate document conversion tasks. For example, a user may create watch folders to either immediately digitize documents or digitize the documents according to a schedule such as every hour or every Friday at 5 p.m., for example. Second is the document compare feature. Document comparison allows a user to quickly identify differences between two versions of a similar document regardless of file saving format. For example, let's say I'm a legal team and I have a 50-page contract saved as a Microsoft Word document. I email that to my client. My client prints the document, signs and initials specific pages, scans the document as an image-based PDF, and emails the document back to me. Using the document compare feature, I can quickly compare my original document to the document received from my client, and Microsoft the document compare feature using Microsoft Tracker will show if any changes have been made to my original document. While other PDF tools may offer document comparison, FineReader may be the only solution to offer this cross-format comparison. So you may see other tools there that offer PDF to PDF comparison or word to word comparison, but please remember that the unique thing about this document compare feature is that cross-format document comparison. Let's look at some benefits to switching to ABBYY FineReader PDF 15. We offer perpetual licenses, so there are no monthly or yearly subscription license fees. All deployment options are on-premise, so ABBYY will never have access to your documents. Apart from per-seat licenses, we offer remote user licenses. If COVID-19 has taught us everything, it's how important it is to have remote user licenses to be able to work from home, as I am right now, for example. Additionally, we offered shared licenses with our concurrent license deployment. For example, I can have an office with 50 employees, yet only need access to 10 licenses at any given time. With the concurrent license deployment, I can purchase 10 concurrent licenses and share those 10 concurrent licenses among my 50 employees. During a demonstration, you will witness the easy-to-use interface, as well as our OCR editor. And last but not least, we offer progressive volume license discounts starting at 5 licenses. So basically, the more you buy, the more you save. I wanted to share this awesome testimonial from a customer who recently switched to FineReader PDF 15 because of a specific feature not found within Adobe Acrobat. I'll give you a minute to read that on your own. Before we jump into the demonstration portion of this webinar, I wanted to highlight 7 key features available with ABBYY FineReader PDF 15. Only FineReader offers background recognition. As soon as you open an image-based PDF document with FineReader, background recognition will immediately digitize the document and make it text searchable. Earlier, I discussed both the hot folder and document compare features, which include unique features only found in ABBYY FineReader. With 192 recognition languages, ABBYY FineReader completely blows the competition away. You will find high quality recognition for languages such as Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Hebrew, Arabic, and Farsi. During the demonstration, you will see the incredible accuracy of table conversion and table extraction. The OCR engine technology is so powerful that even some of our competitors license our OCR engine within their own solution. And lastly, one question I am asked a lot is whether or not you can convert to OpenOffice, and that is a yes with ABBYY FineReader PDF 15. So at this time, I'd like to hand the keys over to Matthias for the FineReader PDF 15 demo.
Thank you, Fiston. Let me share my screen really quick. There we go. So I hope you guys can all see my screen right now. If you can, you should see the basic launch window of FineReader PDF 15, and from here you can get into all the functionality that the software provides basically. What we'll be focusing mostly on for today is FineReader PDF 15's ability to edit and work with PDF documents. But I'll also mention some other features as well later on, like comparing documents, and also I'd like to quickly touch upon the OCR editor as well. But let's start with the PDF editing capabilities of the software. And for that, let me just open a PDF document in the PDF editor. Here we go. This is what the PDF editor looks like at the first glance. Looks like a pretty basic PDF viewer, but actually it also offers a lot of additional functionalities which are usually not included with regular PDF viewers. And also, by the way, you can easily use FineReader PDF 15 as your default PDF viewer as well. I personally recommend this. So what can you do here? For example, you can easily convert the PDF that you have opened here into other formats just by selecting the appropriate target format here from this list. And then in a couple of clicks, you can easily convert the PDF into any other format that you might like, even editable formats like Office formats. Apart from that, FineReader 15, of course, offers a range of PDF tools that allow you to work with and also manipulate PDFs. So here we go. So these PDF tools, they allow you to do different things actually. So for example, most prominently, we have this edit mode in here. And when you enable this, it takes a second to prepare this page. But once this is done, you can then edit the pages or the document on a paragraph basis, as you can see here. For example, you can freely add text to the document and also remove text, of course. And when you add additional text to a paragraph, the font FineReader will try to recreate the font in the original document as good as it can. So if you have the exact same font installed on your system, then FineReader will use this font. And in case the exact same font isn't available on your system, then FineReader will at least choose a font that gets as close to the original font as possible. Right. This edit mode, by the way, also allows you to freely reposition any elements of the document just by clicking. And usually I can do it better, but here you go. Right. But you cannot only edit text on a paragraph base. In case you have, for example, a table that you need to edit. This is also easily possible with FineReader Server because with FineReader 15, because the software allows you to edit each table cell individually. So for example, to change the contents of a table cell, you just click into this and edit the text any way you like. Speaking of tables, sometimes you may have the requirement just to extract a specific table and get this, for example, into an Excel sheet. And this is also easily done with FineReader 15. You can just draw a frame around this table that you want to capture, copy it. The table will be analyzed and the table structure will be identified automatically. And afterwards, the whole table is copied into the clipboard. So now if I open up Excel, I can just paste the table from the PDF into my Excel sheet. Easy as this. Right. Apart from editing the text and extracting tables, the PDF tools also offer a range of other actions that you can perform on the document. So you can erase portions of the document if you like, of course. You can add additional pictures and watermarks to the documents. You can also add individual stamps to the document, if you remember the testimonial that Fiston showed a couple minutes ago. And of course, you can also add headers and footers to the document as well. Besides that, it's of course, possible to digitally sign the document and also protect the PDF with a password. A big topic nowadays is the handling of documents with sensitive information, and for that, FineReader 15 offers this redaction mode. You can use this to remove sensitive information from the documents in case this is needed. And you can just enable this redaction mode, mark the text that you want to remove from the document, and then once the document is saved, this text will be gone for good, and there will be no way for anyone to recreate what has been redacted from the document. So this would be one way to redact text from the document, but in case you have, for example, a specific term that you need redacted from the whole document, then you could use the search functionality for that. For example, search for a specific keyword. For example, climate. This has 2 hits, one here in the header and then once in the headline. And now to redact all of these occurrences, you just select them here in this search bar and click on the redact button here. And here you go. All instances of the keyword have been removed from the document. Another big topic, especially in these recent times when a lot of people are still tied up to the home office, is how you can enhance the collaboration between teams and colleagues. And for that, FineReader Server offers a variety of tools that enhance the teamwork on documents. So you have, for example, the opportunity to freely add comments to the PDFs just by clicking in here. You can add any comment you like, and the colleague who is actually tasked with reviewing the document can then also leave their reply here. For example, like this. Apart from adding comment fields, you also have different options for highlighting the text. So you can just, generally highlight it as you would, as you know already. You can also underline the text, and strike through is also possible. So the requirements for marking up text should be all here in FineReader Server. Should be all doable with FineReader Server. And also you have a range of drawing tools available as well that you can use to mark specific portions of the document, for example, like this. And all of these markups that you add to the document, they will also appear here in the comments pane. And this allows you to basically add a comment to any markup that you added to the PDF document, and also the opportunity for the colleagues to reply to your comments, of course. Right. Next, I'd like to show you a feature that has been added in a rather recently in one of the recent updates, which is this form editor that allows you to create interactive forms that can afterwards be filled out by another user, for example. In order for me to show you this, let me just add another page here to this document. There we go. So this is how a general form draft could look like. I think this particular one was created in Word and then was saved as a PDF. But as you can see, there are no interactive fields whatsoever available here in this form. So there's no way for the user to fill out anything here. And here's where the form editor comes into play, as this also offers you a number of tools, a number of elements that you can add to the form in order to make it interactive. So you can add text fields, checkboxes, radio buttons, drop-down lists, list boxes, buttons that you can map different actions to, and also signature fields to the documents. And this is easily done. You just select the element that you want to add to the table. For example, for the first name, you can add a text field, as well as, for example, for the address, you can make it a bit bigger because usually you have to put in a bit more text. And for questions or form elements that allow the user to choose from a variety of different options, you could, for example, add also a drop-down list here for the best time of the day to be reached. And of course, for the signature field, for the signature, you can add the signature field, and these buttons can also be freely added. I'm not going into too much detail about this because this would probably take up a bit too much time, but with these elements, you can easily make this form interactive. So it can in the end look, for example, something like this. And as you can see here, there have been fields added to all the elements of the form, and they are already interactive. So I can enter the name here. Here, some radio buttons were added to choose the salutation. The address actually allows the input of multiple lines of text, as you can see here. And for the date, there is also a specific format option that lets the user choose the appropriate date directly here from this calendar. There are also different options and as to how to format the date shown here as well. And for the drop-down menu, of course, you can also add different options that you can then, that the user can then choose from. Checkboxes are also available, and here, once you click on the signature field, this would allow you to basically sign the document with a digital signature. And last but not least, this is a button that has been added. In this case, this is a submit button. Once you click it, okay, in this case, it doesn't work because I don't have any email program installed here on this virtual machine, but usually it would now open my email client so I can directly send this form. Right, so that much for the PDF editor's capabilities. Next, let me start a new task and show you the compare documents feature, which is available for the corporate version of FineReader PDF 15. And this is a very useful tool to compare, for example, two versions of a contract or an agreement, even if these two versions are only available in different file formats. In order to compare the documents, all you need to do is load these two documents here in the interface, for example, by clicking here and then opening the appropriate document. So in this case, we will compare these two versions of the agreement. One is a PDF document, the other one is a Word document. So let me open version 1 here on the left side. On the right side, we'll open version 2. And afterwards, you can just click on the compare button. The two documents will be analyzed, which takes a couple of seconds. And as soon as this is done, you will get a list of all the differences that have been identified across those two versions of this agreement. Shouldn't take too long, don't worry. Here we go. Now both documents have been analyzed, and here you can see all the differences in the text body. Additionally, you can also check the differences in the headers and footers as well, and you can just jump through all the differences here in this list. Also, what this compare documents tool allows you to do is save either one of those two documents with including the differences, either as a PDF with comments, or as a Word document in the track changes mode. Or as a third option, you could also output a comparison report, which is basically the information that you see here in this list. Right. So far for so much for the compare documents tool. And next, I'd like you to quickly show you what the OCR editor is capable of. For that, let's start again a new task. And open a document in the OCR editor. So the OCR editor is the place to go when you really want to have more control over the actual OCR process. This can be especially handy in case you need to OCR documents where the scans aren't available in an optimal quality because the OCR editor also offers a range of pre-processing options which you can use to enhance the image quality of the document in order to get a better recognition or OCR result in the end. So let's open a sample image which looks pretty bad on the first glance. This is how it looks like. Yeah, apparently this was really quickly photographed off a table, but yeah, the quality is not the best, as you can see. And if you would just OCR it as it is, you wouldn't get a very useful result out of this. But here's where the pre-processing comes into play. If I click here, pre-process image, the recommended pre-processing settings will be applied to this. And you can see then afterwards, the image already looks a lot better. By the way, this pre-processing that I did start now with a manual click, this can also be configured to start automatically. Basically, you can have the whole OCR process start automatically once you open the file here in the OCR editor. So the next step here in this case, after it has been pre-processed, would be to recognize this page. Here we go, just takes a second. And once this is done, you can see here the different recognition areas that have been identified by FineReader. So these would be text areas, the green frames, and the blue frame would be a table area. And here on the right-hand side, you see the actual recognized or OCR text. And from here, you could then easily save the results into any file format that you choose here from this drop-down menu, or you can also send it directly to another application like Word or Excel. For example, if we send it to Excel, here we go. This is how the Excel file created from the original photographed page would look like. And as you can see, all the numeric values here in this Excel sheet have already been converted to the number format of Excel here as well. So in case you need to do any operation here on the numbers, like auto sum operations, this can then be easily done here. Like this, for example. And now if you change any value here, you can see below here the sum also changing basically. Here we go. Right, and also in case the automatic pre-processing isn't good enough to get the job done, which can also be the case if the scan quality is really bad, then you can still enter this image editor and further apply your own pre-processing to the document and see if you can enhance the quality, that you get a better result out of this as well. Right, that is pretty much what I have in store for you for this demo. So without further ado, I would like to give it back to you, Fiston.
Okay, thank you, Matthias. Just getting my screen up and running here. That was very informative, and I hope that everybody was able to take a lot away from that. As you can see, this is a very powerful all-in-one tool, powerful OCR tool, powerful PDF tool with many options to choose from. Just another reminder, I wanted to remind everybody about our flexible licensing options. So whether you're looking for per seat deployment, remote user deployment, or concurrent license deployment, all are on-premise and available. We offer deployment trials, which are available for testing. If you're interested in a deployment trial, please request that through the website, which will allow you to test the different deployments within your own environment. And last but not least, cost-effective pricing, right? The more you buy, the more you save. Volume license discounts start at a minimum of 5 licenses. Currently, we are running a special promotion of 30% off with any purchase of 100 licenses or more. So definitely please reach out to the sales team if you're interested of taking advantage of this promotion. With that, I'd like to bring in Natalia to assist us with the Q&A portion of the webinar.
Right, yes, thank you, Fiston. Here is Natalia speaking. So thank you everyone for being so active and posting a lot of your questions. Unfortunately, since we only have about 10 minutes for the questions, we will not be able to get through all of them. I see that some of them are quite extensive in length. So we will definitely try to follow up with the questions that we didn't manage afterwards. So we will get a report of all these questions. So it will not disappear after this webinar, don't you worry. So let me sort of just pick a few at random. Also maybe some that will be helpful for all of you, also to give maybe some context in cases where you missed this information, or just to basically repeat it. So one of the questions we had was, are you demoing the standard or the corporate version right now?
That was the corporate version.
Yes. So as Fiston very thoroughly explained in the differences in his presentation slides, the difference between the two is the hot folder functionality and the compare documents. And actually there were some more questions to do with hot folders. So how to convert multiple documents. I don't know if Matthias, if we have time to show this, or should we maybe just briefly explain the hot folder again?
Well, I think we can quickly show this. This isn't. This is done rather fast. If you can. Oh, yeah, perfect. Thank you. Here we go. So let's take a look at the hot folder. There it is. So this hot folder tool basically allows you to create automated tasks. So you can assign a specific file folder which will act as the so-called hot folder and will be monitored by this hot folder workflow. And yeah, any documents that are added to this folder will then be processed according to the settings that you provide in this hot folder workflow. So let's create a new task. So as the first step, you can choose whether you want to run it once or whether you want to have a recurring task. In case of a recurring task, you can have the hot folder checked every minute, every day, every week, or every month. As the next step, you can choose to open a file, for example, from this monitored folder. All you need to do is provide the path to this folder, and then this will be monitored by FineReader 15. And after that, you choose the processing options that you want to apply. So you can choose the document languages that you need, whether you want to only pre-process the images, only analyze them, or completely recognize, or in other words, OCR them. And finally, you can specify another folder here, for example, where you can save the resulting document in a format of your choice. You can then choose also the format here from this drop-down menu, and here you can choose between all the supported output formats that are available in FineReader PDF 15. And of course, you can also modify the file naming rule a bit as well. And yeah, in general, that's all that is done to create a hot folder task.
Yeah,
and afterwards, the folder will be monitored for incoming documents, and every time it is checked, all the contents of this folder will be processed according to the settings that you specify in your task.
Thank you, Matthias. Yes, let me hand over back to Fiston. And so this hot folder tool is great for if you're looking to convert a large number of files. If you are looking to maybe just convert a few, you can also do this very easily when you have all the documents, if, for example, in your Windows panel, like Matthias had when he was demoing things. You can just right-click, select all of them, and then right-click to convert to PDF. And FineReader will also give you the option to combine all the documents. You can add additional documents within this interface already. So this is also another way that you can sort of automate this process. Right, so let's look at some more questions. Since let's do maybe 2 or 3 more, and then we'll conclude the webinar. And as I said, we will definitely follow up with you on all the questions. And there is also a very brief survey at the end of this webinar, just before you exit, which we would love for you to fill out so that we can know for future sort of how we've done in terms of content, the presenters, and what we can also improve. And in case you would also have some additional questions at the end, you can also post this here, so we will get a nice full report afterwards. What else can we answer now? Can you compare a scanned image and a PDF?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. In this case, the scanned image will be OCR'd by FineReader, and then the OCR'd text will be compared against the other document.
Yes. So one of the worries that come up is what happens if the quality is quite bad, and I would like to compare these 2 versions, so you don't have to worry about that. The OCR is so great that FineReader will sort of recognize and help make out all the text, and you don't have to worry about that. Another question we have is, how do I know that the background recognition has been applied?
This will say so in the lower corner of the interface. You can see whether the background recognition is active or not. This
Yes.
is always displayed in the interface of the PDF editor.
And actually, what can happen is with some competing PDF solution is that when they do run such a background recognition or OCR, is that there will be some additional steps or sort of clicks that the user has to do to actually get to the stage. And with FineReader, FineReader PDF, that's not the problem at all. So you don't even have to ask this question, like, how do I know that it's been applied? You just, as soon as you open your PDF, it's fully editable. You can search in it, as Matthias showed for the, I think it was for the redact scenario, that you just type in the left-hand side, and it's basically editable, which means that the background recognition has been applied without you having to do anything or even recognize that this is happening. All you can do is focus on the task that you have at hand. So this is really one of the really great benefits that FineReader PDF offers, and not many other tools do. Let's see if we have a little bit more time. So there's, again, quite a lot of questions about the features themselves. I'm glad that you're all very keen on these. Can I easily add a signature to PDF using an image?
Yes, you can also add image signatures as well, yeah. Or
Excellent.
you can also add an image to your digital signature as well, for that matter.
Yes, and then it will be the document will be valid as sort of validated. So that's also one way that you can protect or see that the document is not being edited further, because if there's any changes after this has been done, it will be there. You'll get a little notification that says it's invalid. Okay, will you be offering a newer version of FineReader 15 in the nearest future? So if the nearest future is 2 days ago, if basically we just launched the latest release, number 6 of FineReader PDF 15. So I'm glad that you asked, and we also have another one scheduled in, I believe, in November. So we constantly update FineReader PDF to fix bugs, to improve the features, to really make the processing even faster. And in the latest one, we've added some additional features. Even the one even before that, we added form creation, which Matthias showed. So we definitely are always expanding, and you can find the information, for example, in our change log. We also write blog articles about this. So if you subscribe, you also get notified about this. And so, yes, we'll keep offering as well more or newer updates to the version.
Yeah. And Natalia, and I just wanted to add that we're always interested in hearing feature requests or feedback. So definitely feel free to share something that you think can be very helpful to the FineReader community.
Yes, please do. I think I'm just scrolling through quickly, and I think I lost where the question was, but there actually was something that mentioned like feature request or feature wish. So we will, as I said, we will look through your questions and take this into consideration. We have a big list of nice sort of wishes that we have for some improvements. So we will add this to it, and it might be become reality before you know it. There was a question about redaction. Is there a search and replace function in the PDF? It is similar to the redact process.
Search and replace. Actually, I'm not quite sure if we have this.
So right.
Search and redact we have in any case. We can also add markup onto search onto via the search function as well. But search and replace, actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think so, actually.
I think at the moment it's not possible, but we do have improvements in the way, so stay tuned. And then, okay, so maybe let's do one last question, which actually brings us to the concluding sort of closing remarks from Fiston, and this is about, I saw a few of you mentioned that you have missed the beginning or didn't get around to listening properly because of your daily tasks. And the question is, will the presentation be available afterwards?
Yes, yes.
Fiston answer that.
Yes, you will all be receiving a follow-up email with a recording link. So if you do choose to go back to listen to the presentation, any parts that you've missed, that definitely will be available, or even share with your colleagues who may have missed the presentation, who are interested in learning more about the FineReader solution as well. And how are we on time?
I think we're just good now that we can slowly wrap up, and as I said, we'll try to address the rest of the questions in a follow-up.
Okay, perfect. So thank you everybody for attending. We definitely had a large group, so we appreciate the interest into the ABBYY FineReader PDF 15 solution. As I said, you will all be receiving a follow-up email with the recording. Feel free to reach out to our team and the sales team for any additional questions. We definitely want to hear all your feedback, make sure all your questions are answered, and assist you with this product in any way. So as far as myself, I wish everybody a great rest of your day. Natalia.
Yes, thank you very much for joining, and yeah, have a nice day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.